Thank you for stopping by and welcome to the channel. In today's video we'll be taking a ride on North America's last wood-burning steamboat, and that's according to their website. Unfortunately, the boat tour closed back in 2003 and this video was taken in 1999. So the boat tour was located in the town of Niagara-on-the-Lake, just behind Fort George. Yeah, 2 soldiers. So here comes our boat, Pumper, which I believe was built in 1903, which was originally named SS Planet. Here they are loading the wood onto the boat for the steam engine.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the steamship Pumper. This dock we just left is called a Navy dock. It's been in operation for over 200 years. It's only a fraction the size it originally was. It went all the way down the river past the inside lighthouse of Niagara-on-the-Lake. Thank you. This dock serviced both Navy ships and merchant ships during the War of 1812 and prior. We'll be going up the river for about 10 minutes. Coming back down on the American side, we'll have a clear view of Fort George, the same view the Americans had during the War of 1812. And at that time, we'll give you a little history on it. And my name is Vern. I'm the captain. We have Don, our engineer, with many years' experience aboard steamships. He knows this engine inside and out. He rebuilt it last fall. And then we have down below our fireman, Rob. He's in charge of stoking the fire that makes the steam, that makes us go ahead, and you can tell what he does by the sweat of his brow there in the belly of the ship. We have Gary on board as well. He's my mate, and he's also in charge of the cooler. If there's anything refreshing you'd like to have, he'll tell you what he has to offer.
A variety of pop, bottled water, iced tea. Our wine list today is Hildebrand Estates. It's a Chablis. We also have beer, Blue Canadian Coors Light.
It's my son heading up to the captain's chair. My brother's giving him a hand.
Okay, take the picture from down there. What? And hold it vertically. Look at the captain's hand. All right, look at that. Look at that.
There. There you go.
Have you got it?
Yeah.
All right.
Here we are heading up the Niagara River, and the whirlpool jet boats come up here and they go up to the rapids. That bridgeway in the distance, I believe, is the Queenston-Lewiston Bridge that you use to cross the border from Canada into the United States. So the boat has turned around the other way and we're heading down the Niagara River. On my right hand side is the United States, and on my left would be Canada.
Approaching Fort Niagara. This fort originally was not meant to be a fort. It was supposed to have been only a trading post. The earliest pioneers to be here were the French in the late 1600s, and the people they had to deal with were the ones native to this area of the Iroquois Nation. For the French to do anything, they had to have their permission. The French wanted to build a trading post. The Iroquois said, okay, but don't build something to do better with the British that were on the other side. So the French made a promise. We'll build a typical house that's in France, and we'll call it the House of Peace, since it'll be used for peaceful purposes. 1725 they began building it. In 1727 it was complete. They brought soldiers in to protect it, built barracks to house the soldiers, and they put wall around it. It became Fort Niagara. This was against the wishes of the Iroquois. Although the Iroquois were neutral, they sided with the British, laid siege to the fort, and bombarded the fort for 2 weeks, constantly destroying the walls of the fort completely. Drove out the French. The fort then came into the hands of the British right up until the 1790s. But a treaty was signed in France that required the British to turn the fort over to the Americans, which they did reluctantly. During the War of 1812, the fort went back into the hands of the British for a short time, and then back to the Americans. In 1868, the American Army Corps of Engineers decided to rebuild the walls of the fort, but by the time they were halfway done, they discontinued it, finding that cannon fire was not stopped by stone walls. If you look at the walls of the fort carefully, you'll see two different types of stone in the walls. I thought it had to do something with the skills of the masons from the two periods, but our local historian said that the French got their stone from one quarry. The American Army Corps of Engineers got their stone from a different quarry altogether. This fort was also used during the American Civil War to incarcerate Union soldiers that had been captured in the Deep South by the Confederates. There was an agreement between the North and South. Soldiers captured on either side would be sent home but could not take part in the Civil War until all exchanges of prisoners have been made. Looking to your right now, you see the House of Peace, also known as the French Castle or the French Mansion. The building's original since 1727, but the roof's been replaced on a couple of occasions. The original roof had an observation tower coming up to the center of it. When the Americans came over during the War of 1812 and destroyed Fort George as well as the town of Niagara on the Lake, the people felt a little bit vulnerable. They wanted another fort built, but since no production of bricks were taking place during the War of 1812, they had to use the rubble of the town as well as the bricks from the very first lighthouse ever established here on the Great Lakes, and used the brick and wood to build Fortress Assault. This fort is located on the left on the Canadian side, where the creeks jut out into the lake. You see a white beacon on the rocks there, and right behind it is Fort Mississauga. It's a star-shaped building with a flat roof. It sits on the edge of a golf course. It's just barely protruding out there from behind the trees now. But it sits empty to this day because of its location on the golf course. Had it been open to the public, the golf course itself would have suffered. The white mansion to your left, many people are curious about that. On the Canadian side, it's called the Somerset. It's owned by a family in Germany and rented out to famous people, dignitaries, movie stars. Governor General of Canada spent time there, as well as Tom Simpson. And the gazebo was also in the movie Dirty Dancing and the movie Grease as well.
So this is where you get on for Niagara on the Lake Whirlpool Jet Ride. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. I hope to see you at our next video.